Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Cricket Wicket. And what an thrilling day of the IPL mega auction we had. Players like Warner and De go for 6.25 crores and 6.75 crores respectively, while players like Rahul Tewatia and Shah Rukh Khan go for 9 crores each. And that's what's called the auction dynamics. The timing and sequence of when the players come affect the price they're purchased for. 97 players went under the hammer on day 1. 74 players were sold and 23 were unsold. Out of the 74 players sold, 20 were overseas players. Close to 400 crores was spent on day 1. So let's review each team's squad so far. The first team is CSK. Their plan was simple, to buy all their former CSK players back. And why not? The squad they had last season was successful. It was a heartbreak for CSK fans when Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur were separated. They tried to purchase both of them, but because of how skillful they were, CSK could only pick Deepak Chahar. Other than Chahar, they bought Raidu for 6.75 crores, which is not a surprise based on the form he has been in last season for the men in yellow. They also bought Dwayne Bravo for 4.4 crores, which is a question mark because he's not the Dwayne Bravo we knew him as when he was in his prime. Finally, they bought Uthappa for 2 crores who can be used as a floater. Their best buy, in my opinion, has to be Deepak Chahar because even though he went for 14 crores, he is a match winner. CSK need to target a leg spinner, probably Mayank Markanday. CSK has 20.4 crores left and they have 10 players in total so far. Next, the Delhi Capitals. They were pretty busy yesterday. They also tried to get their former DC players back but failed to bring back the majority of them. But some very smart buys from them. They got a 2021 T20 World Cup man of the tournament and the man of the match in the final of the T20 World Cup, David Warner and Mitchell Marsh, for 12.75 crores in total, which is a steal. They got Kuldeep Yadav for 2 crores, which is a good pick, and I feel Kuldeep should have gotten more bids. He has not got many opportunities, so I hope he gets to play in this IPL. They got Mustafizur Rahman for just 2 crores, so you can see how smartly they've bought quality players for their base price. They got KS Bharat as their backup keeper and Kamlesh Nagarkoti for just 1.1 crores. Kamlesh bowls on average at 140 kilometers per hour, so I was expecting him to get 4 or 5 crores, but because of how injury prone he is, he didn't get more than he did. Their best buy, in my opinion, was David Warner because he's a run machine, and to get him for the price they got him for, tell you what, they would be very happy. Delhi need to find a number 6 or 7 batting all-rounder, either overseas or Indian. They can target Shivam Dube or Dean Smith. DC has 16.5 crores left and they have 13 players in total so far. Next up, the Gujarat Titans. They spent 1.625 crores for Shami and Ferguson combined, which I felt was a tide too expensive for them. Both of them have a reputation for their Yorkers and death bowling, but they tend to be expensive. They have also invested heavily in uncapped Indians such as Rahul Tewatia and Arsai Kashore, who have nothing but praises for him for a long time. His economy in T20s is just 5.46 in 38 matches. Finally, they invested in the hard hitter Abhinav Manohar. Their best buy, I would say, is Arsai Kishore, and he is the dark horse of this season. They need to focus on their middle order and need Indians to fill in that role. They can probably target players from the U19 World Cup, Yash Dul and Raj Bawa. Gujarat Titans has 18.85 crores left. They have 10 players in total so far. Let's move to KKR. Except Shreyas Iyer, they, like CSK's mantra, was to buy back their players. They got Pat Cummins for 725 lakhs, and I was expecting him to go for more than he did because not only his ability to bowl in the power play and dead, but because of his hitting capability too. They also got Shiva Mavi for 725 lakhs, and he was a regular starter for them last season, so I see him making the playing 11. They got Nitish Rana, who was in high demand, and finally Shreyas Iyer for 12.25 crores. I feel him and Brendan McCullum, KKR's head coach, are a good match because McCullum loves investing in Indian talent, just like what they did with Venkatesh Iyer last season. The best buy, I would say, is Shreyas Iyer. You have a captain and Indian middle order batsman in him, so Shreyas Iyer is the man. KKR need to target bowlers now, especially spinners. They have one of the lowest purses, so they need to target uncapped Indian spinners. KKR has 12.65 crores left and they have only 9 players in total so far. Let's move to Lucknow Super Giants. The new franchise had an interesting strategy which I liked. They bought 2 players of similar roles so that they have a reserve for each player in case one of them is unavailable or injured. They got Jason Holder as Marcus Stoinis reserve, Deepak Hooda as Manish Pandey's reserve, or vice versa. Ankit Rajput as Avesh Khan's reserve, who they shelled 10 crores on him. So it's a pretty good strategy. The best buy from Lucknow was the Cock. The Cock was a steal because he ticks all the criteria you possibly want. He will open with KL Rahul and they are an explosive pair. Then they have the pace and Mark Wood and they already have Ravi Bishnoi as the leg spinner and Kunal Pandya now joins them as their off spinner. So the Pandya brothers are no longer together on the same team, but Lucknow are looking a really strong team. They also need to target Indian middle order batsmen. Lucknow Super Giants have the lowest per 6.9 crores and they have only 11 players so far. So they need to have value picks now. Now Mumbai Indians, they didn't do much on day one. They did spend 15.25 crores to get Ishan Kishan back and I don't think Surya Kumar Yadav would have gone for 15 crores. So things would have been different if Ishan was retained instead of Surya. Baby AB, Devil Brewers, the man of the U19 World Cup tournament, went to Mumbai and he's someone to watch out for. They tried to get Rahul Chahar and Yuzvendra Chahal, but when they failed to do so, they bought Murugan Ashwin. Their best buy has to be Ishan Kishan because he's Ishan Kishan. They have a lot to do on the second day. Mumbai has the second largest purse of 27.85 crores and have only 8 players. Next, the Punjab Kings. They only retain 2 players, so they have the biggest purse, and they still do. They got Rahul Char for 525 lakhs, and the problem of having a quality spinner is sorted. They got the 6 hitter Shah Rukh Khan for 900 lakhs, and he's a good investment going forward. They have wicket keepers in Johnny Bairstow, Jitesh Sharma, and Pradhyman Singh. The best buy, in my opinion, was Johnny Bairstow because he's a keeper and can bat at the top of the order or in the middle order. They now need to focus on overseas all-rounders and there are many of them. Punjab has the largest purse of 28.65 crores. They have in total 11 players so far. Let's move to Rajasthan. Up until lunch, they were focusing on their batting, and after that, they focused on their bowling. They got Pradesh Krishna for 10 crores, which is too much based on one good series against West Indies. So try and notice that these guys who are going big in the auction impact their performance negatively. Yuzvendra Chahal, I felt, was the best pick of the auction. Just 6.25 crores for a quality, experienced leg spinner whose record is fantastic considering half the times he bowled in the small ground Chinnaswamy. So Ashwin and Chahal will pair up and they have arguably the best spin attack so far. Like most teams, they need to focus on getting Indian middle order batsmen. Rajasthan has 12.15 crores and they have 11 players in total so far. Let's move to RCB. RCB had an interesting strategy. Except Akashdeep, who they bought for his base price, everyone RCB bought was for more than 230 lakh. They got Anuj Rawat and Shabazz Ahmed. They have Josh Hazelwood, and finally they have a quality overseas pacer. Josh Hazelwood is economic and with his tall height can extract bounce. They needed an Indian keeper with AB gone and they picked up Dinesh Karthik. I felt Dinesh Karthik is underrated. He's a veteran and is a good finisher. They got Harshal Patel and Hasaranga for 10.75 crores each, which is a surprise. The stats of these guys might be impressive. Hasaranga, the number one T20 bowler, and Harshal Patel, the purple cap last season. But can they continue their form to this IPL? I felt they should have retained Harshal Patel and Chahal alongside Kohli and Maxwell, and this way they wouldn't have to spend much money on finding a leg spinner or a pacer. Faf du Plessis was the best pick because he will open with Kohli and might be their captain. RCB need to focus on getting an Indian number 3, which they have struggled to find, so they can target Yash Dul. RCB have only 9.25 crores left. They also have in total 11 players so far. Last but not the least, let's move to SRH. SRH have a very inexperienced team. They have a lot of young Indian talent, which is what they had in 2016, which led into their first title. But I think that they are the weakest side. They have Priyam Garg, Abhishek Sharma, Kartik Tyagi, Abdul Samad, Umran Malik, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Shreyas Gopal, Rahul Tripathi, Washington Sundar, Natarajan, which is good, but where's the experience and bones of the team? SRH only have 20.15 crores left. They once again have in total 11 players so far. So that's it for today's video. Let's see how the second day of the auction plays out. Tata and adios.